Please remember that the complete information for the class that you are about to view is at elithecomputerguy.com. Not only do we have our videos there, but we have part lists, diagrams, pictures, and even complete code examples. So if you are watching this video and you want more information, please go to elithecomputerguy.com. Welcome back. As you know, I am Eli the Computer Guy, and today I'm going to be showing you how you can assign attributes to IDs within your HTML documents. So before I did a class and I showed you how to assign attributes to classes. So basically, if you want different types of text to all have a similar feel, so let's say all of your heading text and all your P text, H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, and your P, maybe you want them all to be the same color, or maybe you want them all to be the same font, that type of thing. What you can do is you can create a class, then whenever you're writing out the HTML code, whenever you put the H1 tag or the P tag, you can then say it's a class equals, and then whatever class you created within your CSS, and then that tag will gain the attributes of whatever it is you put into the CSS. So if you want everything with that class to be a certain font, it will be that font. If you want it to be a certain color, it will be the certain color, so on and so forth. Well, you can also do the same thing with IDs. So IDs are a useful thing within HTML web pages, mainly because what they do is they allow you to do what are called anchor links within a single page of HTML. So a lot of people understand how normal hyperlinks work. So right, if you create a hyperlink on a page, normally what you're doing is you're actually linking to another web page within the overall site, or you're linking to an entirely different site. So you do the href, and then you plug in, again, the domain name or the location to wherever you want the people to go when they click on the link. Well, one of the things that you can do with anchors is you can actually create links within the same web page. So let's say you have a web page that's really long, right? So instead of having a whole big website, so numerous different small pages on a large website, let's just say you have one really big web page. That can be a real pain in the butt to try to navigate through. And so one of the things that you can do is you can create IDs. Basically, these are anchor points within that web page, and then you can create hyperlinks just to be able to jump to those different places in the web page based off of those anchors, based off of those IDs. Well, one of the interesting things is when you're using those IDs for things such as anchors for links within your web page, you can actually also assign CSS attributes to those IDs. Again, let's say if you wanted to do something specific, so different sections of your web page, maybe you want different sections to have different colors, or you want them to have different fonts or different something, depending on the different sections. So let's say you had 10 different sections within one really long web page. Maybe the first section, the background would be yellow, and the second section, the background would be green. Again, just a way to give a visual differentiator. So as people try to navigate through your page, they have an idea of what's going on. Honestly, when I'm going to be showing you how to do, basically assign CSS attributes to an ID today, I think most people would argue it's actually a better idea to assign these attributes to a class. So basically create an ID and a class. But I just want to kind of show you how this works with IDs. If you're using IDs within your website anyway, maybe instead of creating classes and numerous other different things, maybe if you just simply assign attributes to your IDs instead, this might be a useful way for you to do things. So with that, let's go over to the computer and I can show you how the IDs and how assigning CSS attributes to those IDs work. Here we are back at my demonstration machine. Again, I am using a MacBook Pro. Again, for these basic kind of coding classes, I like to use a basic ASCII text editor just to show you that's all you need in order to do this type of thing. In the Mac world, you use TextEdit. If you're in the Windows world, you can use Notepad. If you're in the Linux world, you can use gedit, Vim, Nano, whatever. The important thing to remember is whenever you create an HTML document, basically this is what's actually opening up in your web browser, it has to end with .html or .html. When you create your CSS file, that has to end with .css. So for this particular project that we're doing today, I have an id.html file. This is the document that will actually open in the web browser, and this points back to an id style.css. This is the cascading style sheet that gives the style for everything going on with these IDs today. So again, whenever we're dealing with the HTML documents, the first thing we need to do is open up the HTML HTML tag. Then we're going to open up the head tag. And then for these particular projects, all we're going to be doing is creating the link tag to the style sheet in the head. So we're going to do link relation is a style sheet, href equals, and then again, you put the name and location of the style sheet. So with this, it's in the exact same folder as this particular document is. So I can just put the name there. If it is in a different folder for some reason, you just have to put the full file path there. You close, you put that little / there, and you close the link. And so this links us to the ID style.css. Now, if I go over here and I take a look at the ID style.css, we can see that I've put in a few things here. Now, the first 3 things that I've put in here is I've put in settings for 3 IDs. So when you're doing IDs, you're going to put that pound sign, that hash sign in front of it. If you're doing classes, you put the period sign in front of it. Again, just one of those simple memorization things. Just remember, if you're going to be creating attributes for IDs, you put a hash sign in front of the ID. If you're going to be doing attributes for classes, you put a period sign in front of the name of the class. So with these, again, I am simply calling these ID1, ID2, or ID3. You could name these IDs whatever you want to name them. I'm just being simple. What I've done here is for ID1, I'm simply saying that the background color should be yellow. Then I'm doing for ID2, the background color should be pink. And for ID3, I'm saying the background color should be green. So when I reference these IDs, the background color for the text will be those different colors. I also created these classes here. So basically just to show you that you can add classes within IDs. And so for class 1, I'm doing the text color itself. So this is the background color. So with this, I'm saying the text color is going to be orange. And then class 2, that color is going to be red. So this is the basic CSS. The main thing to remember here is when you're dealing with IDs, again, pound or hash sign in front of the name of the ID. And then when you're doing classes, you put a period in front of the name of the class. Then we're going to go over here and we're actually going to take a look at the HTML document. And this is a bit of a mess just because I wanted to give you an example of why IDs are useful as anchor points. So let's go and first just kind of walk through this. The first thing that I'm showing you here is I'm assigning an ID here of ID1 simply to this H1 text. So all this is H1 text, and this is going to be ID1. So if I wanted to create a hyperlink here, it would come directly here. Then the next thing that I've done is I've created a division. So basically this is a div. This is saying all of this stuff goes together, do the same to everything between these 2 tags. And I've assigned this for ID2. So basically the H1, we have normal H1 tag here, we have normal P2 tag here, but everything within this particular div will get the values for ID2. So if we go over here, we take a look at ID2, so everything here will be in pink. So the H1 up here, this will be in yellow, all of this will be in pink. Then we're going to go down here to another div tag. This will be for ID3. So ID3 is going to be that background color of green. But then here, what I've done is for the actual text tags, I've added classes. So the background will be green, and then H1 will have the attributes of class 1, and the P will have the attributes of class 2. The final thing that I've done here is just to show you how the anchor things work with an ID, in case you don't know, is I've created a hyperlink within this document to ID4. So this hyperlink, basically it's an href. It looks a lot like a normal hyperlink. The only difference is you're going to do that pound ID4. So this is where that pound comes in again. So you'll notice here, when I do the div ID, I simply did the ID2. I did not do the pound sign. Here for the href, I actually do the pound sign, and I just say this is a link to ID4. Then all I did is I put a lot of periods and a lot of breaks. Basically, all I'm doing here is actually just creating a big file so I can actually go somewhere. And when I click on that link, that's going to come down here to this div ID ID4. So basically, when I click on that link, that's going to come down here. And this is just going to show you that IDs can be used for hyperlinks. I then added some more periods and breaks just so it flushes everything out and it actually runs pretty smoothly. Again, what this should be is you should have lots and lots of paragraphs and writing and images and all that kind of stuff, and so you're linking throughout the page. Again, for a demonstration like this, I'm doing what I'm showing you. So anyways, then all we have to do is we come down here to Safari. Let me do the refresh, and as we can see here, so we see this is basic H1. So again, that body, ID1, that has the CSS where the background will be yellow, and so that's yellow. Then we have the div ID ID2. So for ID2, everything within the ID2 will have a background of pink. And we can see now that the H1 and the P tag, all of that is pink. Then we go down to the div for ID3. So ID3, the CSS said the background is green. And then what we did here is we added some information for the H1 and for the P. So H1 gets a class of 1. That means it'll be orange text. And the P will get a class of 2. That means it will be the red text. And so we have the orange and the red sitting here on this green background. Then you're going to come down here. You're going to see a href. This is going to point to that ID4. Again, if we're looking here, so we can see this is a link to ID4. I can click on this and see that jumps us down to where ID4 is in the page. And again, all you're seeing is periods here because I'm just kind of simulating that this would be a large page. And again, just to give you that idea, if you don't know what an ID is used for these anchor points in a page, just to give you a bit of a clue here. So this is how IDs can be used to assign attributes to your text, whatever other kinds of formatting you're going to be doing with CSS. Depending on what you're doing with your particular site, it may make sense, it may not, but this is the basic idea. So now you know how to assign CSS attributes based off of an ID name. So again, do remember on that CSS style sheet, IDs start with that pound, that hash symbol, and then whatever the name of the ID is. Again, if you're dealing with classes, you start with a period, and then whatever the name of the class is. That's just kind of a rote memorization thing. And then past that, whether you're dealing with IDs or classes, you simply type in everything using the normal CSS syntax, and away you go. Again, one of the most valuable things about IDs in the HTML world is the ability to create links within one single web page. Again, you go to some of those web pages that are really long, right? If somebody actually printed out that page, it would be like 50 pages long. So having links internal to that page probably makes a lot of sense. Now, one of the things that you do have to be thinking about in the CSS world, like a lot of things in coding, is you do have to think about the most appropriate way to assign the CSS attributes. Again, as we're going along with these classes, you will notice there's multiple ways to assign attributes to anything within an HTML document. Again, you can have the external style sheets, you can have inline CSS, you can assign CSS based off of class, you can assign CSS based off of ID, you can assign CSS based off multiple other things within your HTML document. So one of the things that you're going to have to be thinking about when you start writing out your CSS is what is the most appropriate way to be able to use your CSS in one of your documents. Again, if you're dealing with a large old document and you simply want to add some colors, you simply want to add some pizzazz to it, and it's already got this ID structure built into it, then frankly, maybe simply, associating the IDs with some CSS attributes and values, maybe that's the easiest way to go. Okay, I've got 20 anchor links, I've got 20 IDs in here already, so I'm just going to assign values to those 20 IDs and wash my hands. I'm not doing a major revamp of this site. I'm not building a site from the ground up. I already have something. It already has IDs. This is the easiest way to go, right? That might be the best way to go. On the other hand, if you're building a site from the ground up, or if you're doing a major revamp, maybe it would be better to assign these attributes, again, based off of classes or based off of other things that it will be showing you as we go. And so again, that's one of the things you have to be thinking about in the programming world. Remember, there's always a dozen ways to accomplish almost any task. Like just simply being able to accomplish a task is not what's complicated in the coding world. Accomplishing a task appropriately so the next person that comes and reads your code understands what the hell is going on. That's the real skill, right? And so that's with these IDs. A lot of people would argue that you probably shouldn't use IDs for assigning attributes with CSS. But again, I want to show you that this is a tool that you can use, and in a situation that may be useful for you. So as always, I enjoyed doing this class and look forward to seeing you at the next one. If you like the content that I create, please think about going to eliTheComputerGuy.com and becoming a member or donating. Please understand that all of the educational videos are in front of the paywall. That includes the videos, that includes the notes, the diagrams, and the code example. All of that is freely available and in front of the paywall. But if you want to watch opinion videos or if you want to be able to comment, you do need to become a member. Membership is $5 a month or $60 a year and gives you access to those opinion videos and the ability to comment. If you don't want to become a member, you just want to give a one-time donation, there's also a donate button where you can do that. Please understand, in order to provide the education that I am, it does cost money. Servers cost money, equipment costs money, travel costs money. All of these things cost a reasonable amount of money, and the fact of the matter is YouTube's advertising program no longer supports creators the way that it used to. So if you want these classes to continue to stick around and you find them to be valuable, please think about either becoming a monthly member or donating a few dollars for this project.